In 1859, the Santa Fe Railway Company was founded in Atchison, Kansas. The company primarily operated in the western United States and often faced problems with water shortages for passenger trains, locomotive boilers, and towns on the company's southwestern rail lines. Things were particularly bad in northern Arizona. The solutions that the railway company devised for dealing with water shortages were made for economic reasons. However, they had an effect on the environment and the way northern Arizona developed. In 1900, the Santa Fe Railway had a relatively small presence in northern Arizona. They were able to maintain operations through the use of wells and small dams, especially the one at Ash Fork. In 1901, realizing that Grand Canyon was a potential cash cow in tourism, the Santa Fe Railway built a rail line from Williams to Grand Canyon that became known as the Grand Canyon Railway. This line not only served as a speedy way for tourists to get to the Grand Canyon, but it also served as a way to transport water to the canyon's south rim, where the waters of the Colorado are largely inaccessible. As the company expanded its operations in the 1920s, more water was needed for boilers, hotels, and human consumption, and the Santa Fe Railway began the reallocation of water in earnest. From Springs and Del Rio, Arizona, 80 to 100 train cars a day moved water to Seligman, Williams, and Grand Canyon. This amounted to roughly 360 million gallons of water being moved by train across northern Arizona in 1 year. That is roughly enough water to fill 600 Olympic-sized swimming pools. To help cope with water shortages, the Santa Fe Railway teamed up with the National Park Service in 1926 and built a sewage disposal and water reclamation plant at Grand Canyon. By the end of the 1930s, this water reclamation plant was recycling 3 to 4 million gallons of water a month. This was nearly the same amount of water that was being shipped to the Grand Canyon at the same time. The effluent was used to power locomotive and stationary boilers, as well as for landscaping and used in toilets. This allowed the fresh water to be used for human consumption only. The plant quickly paid for itself, as the Santa Fe Railway Company could ship less water to the canyon, but still maintain a good supply. While dams are not environmentally friendly, the Santa Fe Railway did not seem to care about the environmental impact of their work. By the 1930s, ideas about conservation were working their way into the consciousness of the American people through programs like the Civilian Conservation Corps and the National Park Service. However, the Santa Fe Railway did not focus any real efforts on conservation. George L. Davenport was the chief engineer of the Santa Fe Railway from 1915 to the 1950s. In all of his reports, he rarely mentions anything concerning the environment. His goal is simply to create the largest freshwater supply at the least cost. Davenport claimed that water reclamation plants were only useful for very arid places, and he did not recommend their use in places where water was easily found. This shows that the company did not care about water conservation. The reclamation plant was simply a way to save money, as the transporting of water to the Grand Canyon was a great cost to the company initially. The reclamation plant at Grand Canyon may have had a positive impact in terms of water conservation, but this was not a primary goal of the railway company.